How you doing, good people? My name is Captain Joy Miller. At the time of me making this video, I'm actually deployed in Poland, but I didn't want that to stop me from making myself known and just spreading the good news and just reaching out to military members that found themselves in a precarious situation due to several facts, right? One, due to the nature of the military and the fact that you bought a home and you are only at that place at the location for 3 to 5 years before you have to PCS or ETS, right? And you have to sell your home. The nature of how equity works and the nature of the VA loan, right? Which the VA loan is a great thing, but unfortunately, it takes money to sell a home. And that money to sell normally comes out of the equity in a home that is built over time. But as I just mentioned, as a military member, we are constantly moving every 3 to 5 years. So unfortunately, you don't have a lot of time to build equity before you have to move again, which will land you in a tough situation where you either have to be forced to become a landlord, so rent your home, or you have to come out of pocket because you don't have the equity. And some military members, as I'll show you, and unfortunately, they don't have the money to sell, and then they go into pre-foreclosure or have their homes foreclosed on, right? And me, I want to be able to protect military members because we have dignity, right? Just saving your dignity, protecting your dignity, because we serve and we make constant sacrifice. But unfortunately, due to the nature of what we do and how we move in our career path, we can find ourselves in some tough situations, right? So if you follow me in this video, it won't be much longer here, but I'll show you what it is that I'm looking at and the population of people that I'm looking to serve and how I'm looking to do so. All of the total number that is on market, right? Why? Because we're constantly moving, right? Now, of that number, 106 just sold. This is where I want to point your attention to next, right? Now, again, of the 4,450, 3,290 have low equity, right? Low equity, meaning that they are not really in the best position to sell their home, right? As I scroll over here, I have like the estimated equity, right, that each of these homes have, and as you can see, it's pretty low. Now I have scrubbed this spreadsheet to focus on people who have less than 50,000 because they are most likely the individuals that will fall into hardship right now. Now, this is all going to make sense here shortly. Again, to prove my point even more so, we have 1,137 that have negative equity. And that is a possibility and a situation that can happen for us as well, because while in the military, we fall into situations like divorce. We have financial hardships, and we still have to drive on. We still have to move on. We still have to PCS, still have to ETS, and sometimes having to go in the negative. These are probably situations where people have not been paying their mortgage for some time, right? Now, the worst case scenario is people land in pre-foreclosure, right? The negative equity and the low equity turns into pre-foreclosures, right? Now these are people that are basically about to lose their home to the bank. You see here that there are one individual has already lost their home, and one and again has found himself bankrupt. This is why I do what I do, so that you don't have to be put in this situation. Come here back to the on markets, right? Out of the 541, a lot of these people will find themselves in a situation where they have to become landlords because they can't sell their home, right? Now, I'm going to bring you real quick to this amortization chart, right? Which all an amortization chart is a breakdown of like your mortgage over a 30-year period, because most VA loans are over like 30 years. So this is looking at what your home will look like over the course of like 4 years, right? So if you just bought a home in year one for 250,000, after year one, your home value is still probably around 250, and this is your equity here, right? Now homes do appreciate, so this doesn't take into consideration appreciation, but appreciation is speculative, right? It's something that is likely but not always promised. El Paso and Fort Bliss is a place where before 2020, it was a place where homes would gradually, very slowly appreciate. So normally you won't see much appreciation in places like Fort Bliss. So if you look here over the course of 4 years, this individual only has $24,000 in equity, right? Now, remember this situation. So let me bring you over to, is it? Here, right? So this is a little calculator breaking down the cost of selling a home. So this home in this case is, selling for 350,000, right? Now they're going to net not that much, right? Actually, if I scroll down all the way to the bottom, you'll see it costs 35,000 to sell the home. Why? Because you have to pay a realtor 6,000. Well, you have your realtor, you have the buyer's realtor, you have because we're in a buyer's market, it's likely that buyers are going to ask for 3%. To go toward their closing costs, right? So that brings you to 9%, and then you have your closing costs as a seller, right? Which can roughly be between 3 and 5%. So that brings you to 13 to 15% or 12 to 15% to sell your home. Again, this number, 35,000, is the cost to sell, right? In the event that you're selling a home for 350,000, right? So if you don't have this in equity, then you're gonna have to come out of pocket or be forced into landlordship, right? So that's that, and I'm here to help in the event that you don't want to have this situation, or you don't want to be one of these guys, or you don't want to be one of these guys that have actually lost their home. Okay, guys, so now you've seen what it is that I'm talking about. Now you see why it is that I'm here and why I'm looking to serve and help, and who needs that help. And if that's you, you can see the info on my page, on the website here, the phone number. You can call or text to be able to reach out to us to schedule a consultation, or you can click where it says reserve a booking to talk with us about your situation, to see if we're a good fit for each other. But I just do not want you to be at a loss because of the situation. Buying a home is a great idea, right? And I just don't want that decision to buy a home to put you in financial turmoil for years and years to come. All right, so get with me. Again, my name is Captain Joy Miller, and I'm here for you.